Assalamu'alaykum Ummahpreneurs, and welcome back to another video on our channel. In this video, we're going to talk about why most entrepreneurs are playing the short game and why most of them disappear and fail within the first 1 to 2 years, and why the select few entrepreneurs that are playing the long game are the ones that ultimately end up successful and build amazing lasting businesses that go on to make a difference in the world. Let's dive right in. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So when I first started in business, I was playing the short game. And the truth is, I had to. I had no other choice. I had just quit my IT job to start a business and be an entrepreneur, and I had to make an income as quickly as possible. I needed to pay my bills. I needed to make sure that I had food on the table, and I really wanted to make sure that I didn't have to rely on anyone else for money or take on debt or ask for loans. And so I really needed to make money in my business as quickly as possible. And when you're focused on the short game, you're really focused on how can I build something as quickly as possible? How can I get it out to the market as quickly as possible? And how can I generate sales as quickly as possible? And you want to do things fast and scrappy, and you want to be lean and mean. And to be completely honest with you, that is probably the strategy that you should take in your first few months in business. You really want to validate your business idea. You want to get your proof of concept, and you want to do it in a way that is lean and mean, and you want to be flexible, and most importantly, you want to be fast. However, the mistake that most entrepreneurs make is that they continue to adopt this mentality throughout the length of their business. This means that even 1 year, 2 years, 3 years into their business, they're still playing the short game. They're still focusing on making as much money as possible, on trying to charge as high prices as possible, while offering mediocre products and mediocre services and really providing mediocre results. And that is what causes most entrepreneurs to go out of business. This is the reason why most courses and programs online don't work, and why most people think that online gurus are scammers, is because a lot of people are just focused on the short game. And what I realized once my entrepreneurship experience started to grow, I built my first business, I sold it, and then I built Ummahpreneur as well, is I started to divert my attention and focus in business towards playing the long game. Now, the long game in business is very different. Instead of being focused immediately on making as high of an income as possible, your focus should be on a few things. Now, these few things are what I call the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals in business, and why are those the areas of your business that you should focus on? Let's talk about them right now. So the number one fundamental is that you have to create an amazing product and service and continue to refine it and improve it over time to really make it as best as you are able to. And the reason why is ultimately what really creates growth over time and lasting growth for any company or business is your client satisfaction. How satisfied are your clients with your products or services? Alhamdulillah, Ummahpreneur, we have a stellar reputation. We only have 5-star reviews, and we've never had someone come out and complain about our services, our programs, and our mentorship. And the reason why we've been able to do this over the last 3 years is because I've kept up a relentless focus on how we can structure our mentorship programs, how we can offer our students more support, how we can really provide them with the best experience possible, because ultimately we know if our students are successful, that ultimately reflects on our ability to provide results and our reputation as a business. And that is extremely important to us. If Ummahpreneur is able to really help Muslim entrepreneurs build businesses, grow businesses, and achieve their goals, then ultimately Ummahpreneur is going to continue living on for, inshallah, the next 10, 20, 30 years and grow to where it needs to grow, wherever that may be. But if the products and the programs and the things that we do, ultimately they're no good, well, it's only a matter of time before people start to speak out, people start to, give us terrible reviews, and, things start to go downhill for our company. And so it's really important. The first fundamental should always be, no matter your business model, it should always be really creating the best possible offering, whether that's a product, a service, a program. You really want to focus on making that ultimately the best possible thing that your customers experience within that field or category, and really them walking out and raving about how awesome it was to work with you and really how amazing your product or service was, and really referring other people to it. That's number one. Number two is really giving tons of value and building an audience that believes in what you have to offer, even if they aren't necessarily paying you. Now, this is something that people really underestimate. Right now in the social media world, attention is the most important currency. If you don't have attention, then you don't really have an audience that you can serve, that you can provide help to, you can provide value to, you can provide products and services to. And ultimately, attention is what's going to dictate the long-term success of your business. So a lot of people will start businesses, they'll create an amazing product or service, but if they don't have the audience, they're not giving value to their audience, they're not really providing them with helpful tips or guidance, they're not really helping them in any way, really adding value to their lives, giving them benefit, then they're not really creating a long-lasting impact where they have a customer base that they can tap into. And so it's really important, as part of the fundamentals, number two is that you build an audience of raving fans. And the way that you do this is really by providing them with authentic value and really doing this for free. This is why we have our YouTube channel at Ummahpreneur, because, despite the number of people who watch this, I don't even really care or look at the views. I just want to make videos and build things that really serve and help people. And even if no one watches this, even if this doesn't reach anyone, I'm going to continue doing this no matter what, so that whenever people are looking for a solution on building a halal business, on, getting help in business from a Muslim perspective, ultimately, I pray that inshallah, they will find these videos and they will get some value, get some help, and maybe consider working with us one day and benefiting from our mentorship and services. Now, the number three fundamental is going to be building out systems and processes in your business so that you can fire yourself upwards. Now, what this means is that as you're building the best product or service ever, as you're building an audience, the number three thing you need to be building in your business is really systems and processes. You need to start to organize your business into departments: the marketing department, the fulfillment department, the operations department, the sales department. And for every department in your business, you have to organize what are the processes, the systems that I'm going to put in place so that I can hire people to do the job for me, so that I can fire myself upwards into that CEO role and have people in place in my business that are really taking care of the day-to-day activities. Because ultimately, as an entrepreneur and CEO, your goal is that you want to work on your business and not within your business. And for many of us, including myself, we start off as solopreneurs. It means we start off doing everything in our business, from the marketing to the sales, to the video editing, to the content, to the fulfillment, to the coaching, and it gets very exhausting. And that's not a place that you want to be in very long. And so as quickly as possible, as fast as you can, you want to start thinking about systems and processes. And what is systems and processes really? For example, if you create social media content every single week and you have a process for creating it, maybe your process is that you go and research a few different topics and then you use a certain Canva template to design your social media post, and then you go and share this on your account, and these are the logins and these are the steps to do so. Well, a process would be simply outlining each one of those steps so that when you hire someone else, you can just say, hey, here's the documentation on how to do this activity and publish social media content for a company. Now you can go ahead and do it. Right? So whenever I do something, if I'm conducting sales in my business, I'm going to map out what are all the processes. How do I conduct sales in my business so that when I hire other salespeople, they can just take over and they have the documentation. You really want to treat your business really like a Fortune 500 company. It should have its own documentation. It should have its own systems and processes, its own, templates and SOPs, which is what we call standard operating procedures. You have to become a good operator, right? You want to become a business owner. You don't want to become a self-employed freelancer. Right? So a business owner understands how to set up systems and processes in place and really hire people and delegate. So these are the three fundamentals. Again, a recap: number one, really building the best possible program, product, service. Number two, building an audience of raving fans. And number three, really setting up these systems and processes in place to fire yourself upwards and your company into that CEO role. And that's what's going to allow you, inshallah, to really play the long-term game in where you're building a business that is legacy focused, that is going to live on for 10, 20, 30 years. And ultimately that even eventually you can sell and move on to work on something else, another passion project, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, inshallah. I hope this video was beneficial. If it was, guys, please go ahead and like and subscribe below this video. Leave me a comment to let me know what you enjoyed and what questions you have. I read every single one and I reply to every single one, and I'll include some resources to benefit from in the description below. And until then, my Ummahpreneurs, take care. I will see you in the next one. Assalamu'alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.